65 million years ago, these dinos were just having a chill day at the beach when a T-Rex decided to ruin the party. They had to make a speedy getaway to the safety of the ocean. But one dino got caught, when suddenly... We fast forward to the present day, with Jonas emerging from a container on a massive ship. He witnesses the crew dumping hazardous materials into the ocean. He then goes around documenting the environmental crime. Caught in the act, Jonas finds himself in a high-stakes showdown on the ship. Using fists and feet, he battles his way through the crew. Cornered at the edge of the ship, he boldly declares their arrest, triggering a dangerous order to eliminate him. In a daring move, Jonas plunges into the water as his adversaries mock him from above, only to be rescued by his teammates Mac and Regas. At that time in the Oceanic Institute, tests are being run with a new type of supersuit. Juming, the one testing the suit, is Mei Ying's uncle. The girl reminds him not to be late to tonight's party. Later at the party, Jonas notices a strange man that he says he doesn't like. After that, Hilary Driscoll, one of the big investors, goes on the stage, gives a speech and hands the mic to Juming, who goes on to talk about how he took on his father's legacy, and we learn that Suyin passed away. The man then reveals a big pool where they had a Megalodon named Haichi captive, that the team has raised since she was a baby. He also presented a new type of submarine that can traverse the thermocline, the layer of freezing water that covers the deepest parts of the Mariana Trench. After the speech was over, Jonas is called on stage as the man who slayed the Megalodon. Jonas is treated as a celebrity, which he really hated. Back at the Institute, Mei Ying asks Jonas to let her dive with him to the trench, but the man refuses, saying that he will let her accompany them to the Mana 1 station, but she will stay and watch them dive. Jonas gets a call to check out Juming diving with the Meg. Panicking a bit, he grabs the radio, desperately trying to get Juming to reconsider. But nope, the guy is adamant, claiming he's got this special connection with the Meg Haichi. He whips out some device, clicks it once, and boom, the colossal Meg shows up like some shadowy giant. Juming, all confident, clicks twice, and the shark casually swims away, checking out the scene inside the base. He's over the moon about the successful test, but the party's cut short when the Meg decides to swing back, not in the best mood. Clicker in hand, Juming realizes it's not working this time, and the Meg goes all attack mode on him. Everyone is convinced he's shark food until, surprise, he walks in through the door. Juming scratching his head, wondering what's up with Haichi. Turns out she's been acting weird all week. When night falls, the Megalodon gets all antsy. It checks out this gate, gives it a good smack, breaks the darn thing, and bam, it's out of there. The team heads to Mana 1, where two submarines dive into uncharted territories. After cruising deep for a while, Mei Ying suddenly pops up, and Jonas, not thrilled, wants to haul her back. Before he can do anything, though, a Meg shows up on the sonar. Surprise, it's Haichi. The submarine races toward the thermocline, but even after crossing it, she's still tailing them. To make things spicier, more Megs join the party, including the granddaddy of them all, what they reckon is the Alpha. Now, the team's scratching their heads, wondering why these Megs are converging on the same spot. They decide to follow the Megs. The submarines push their way into the unknown, surrounded by volcanic activity, and soon reaches the location where the Megs were mating. The mating season explained the strange behavior of Haichi. As the team delves deeper, they stumble upon a mysterious station, its scans revealing signs of activity and cutting-edge technology. Meanwhile, we get a glimpse of a guy named Montes chilling in a submarine while his buddies plant explosives on the rocks for some unique mineral mining. Montes spots the Mana 1 submarine crossing the ridge and decides to play the villain by blowing up the passage, sacrificing his comrades in the process. Walls start crumbling, and the team hustles to maneuver through the debris. Meanwhile, Montes is attacked by a Megalodon. The explosion blows a gaping hole in the thermocline. After a series of challenging maneuvers, the two submarines find themselves trapped, and Mac loses contact with them. Concerned, he instructs Jess to prep a rescue vehicle. However, the plot thickens when Jess reveals that the rescue vehicle was sabotaged. Jonas is desperate to reach Juming's team, but they're running out of air fast. Regas works her tech magic and gets them back online with Mana 1. Unfortunately, the news isn't great. There's no way to rescue them. Jonas, thinking the worst has happened, decides to make a bold move. He sets course for the underwater station they spotted earlier, believing it's their only shot at finding a way back to the surface. Out of the submarines and suited up, Jonas unexpectedly runs into Juming, both having hatched the same escape plan. The group ventures through the alien landscape teeming with unfamiliar species. Lance, in his explorations, gets ambushed by a worm-like critter latching onto his helmet. Panic mode kicks in, but Regas swiftly removes the unwanted hitchhiker. After trekking 3 kilometers across the seafloor, They stumble upon a swarm of octopus babies. Their luck takes a nosedive when Lance accidentally awakens the colossal mother from her nap. His screams are heard through the radio as the others witness his helmet falling down. Jonas, undeterred, urges the team to press on. Meanwhile, Montes, stuck in his submarine, manages to establish contact with the surface and has a chat with Driscoll, who turns out to be the mastermind behind the mysterious station. He tells her about Jonas, who's heading to their station spelling bad news for their work. As Jonas and the team approach the station, they switch to stealth mode to avoid catching the attention of the Megs. They soon notice they were being stalked by something. The signal approaches fast and Jonas tells the teams to start running. Out of the shadows emerge the same pesky creatures from the movie's beginning. The team whips out their underwater guns, but these critters manage to snag Mei-Ying. Ju-Ming leaps to the rescue, and they both get tugged around until Jonas intervenes. The onslaught continues, prompting Ju-Ming to whip out a torch and scare the critters away with its bright light. But the intense glow also catches the eye of the approaching Megs, speeding towards them in a frenzy. The team hurries through a metallic gate, and one of the Megs crashes into it, breaking it to pieces, scattering debris all around. Mei-Ying is almost crushed, but she is saved by Jonas. They start running to the station and a Meg attacks them and almost eats them. Sal, who is critically low on air, is helped by Ju-Ming. The two are attacked by a Meg. Ju-Ming won't give up on the woman, but she pushes him away and gets eaten by the creature. Ju-Ming joins Jonas and everyone rushes to the entrance of the station and closes the door just as the Meg crashes into it. Curtis's helmet was compromised and is about to implode. The door slowly closes and they are unable to depressurize until it's too late and the helmet implodes, instantly killing the woman. The team is in shock after witnessing the horrifying death of their comrade. The group removes their suits and ventures inside the station where they find a control room and they try to contact the surface. Jonas finds some kind of rocks that the people of the station were mining. Ju-Ming recognizes the rocks as being very rare and used as superconductors in quantum computing, estimating the price of one box to be around $1 billion. Mayan manages to contact Mana 1 and talks to Jess. Jonas lets her know that they lost many of their friends. Jess explains to them that they were infiltrated by someone and they still don't know who it is. Scanning the station reveals 2 pods that they could use to escape, so the team was again on the move. Ju-Ming notices that the equipment they were using belonged to Mana 1, and wonders how they put their hands on it. After reaching the pod's room location, the pod controls weren't working since the door of the room was open. Jonas asks Rigas to close the door. She was about to when it suddenly closed on its own. Jess reveals to them that she was the one who did it, and she turns out to be the mole. The woman says that she wants them to be on their side and offers to pay them, but Jonas refuses, accusing her of having killed her friends. Jess then ejects one of the pods, then asks Rigas to take the spear gun and shoot Jonas in the heart or she will let everyone die. All the time Driscoll was listening to their conversation with a big smile on her face. After a moment of pondering, Rigas grabs the gun and aims it at Jonas. Mei-Ying pleads for her to not shoot him, but Jonas asks her to do it, saying that it was the only way for him to save Mei-Ying. Rigas couldn't bring herself to do it. Jess then immediately expels the last pod. Driscoll then talks to them and lets them know about her plan to take over Mana 1 and uses it to mine the Mariana Trench. Ju-Ming gets mad and breaks the screen. Driscoll orders Jess to finish him off, and she immediately floods the pod room. Jonas says their only way out is for him to go outside through the pod airlock and got back inside and get to the control room. Mei-Ying is afraid, and says that he doesn't have his suit. But Rigas explains that he would only survive 30 to 60 seconds without it. Jonas then jumps inside the airlock that starts filling up with water as Jonas holds his breaths. The man, who is about to faint under the effect of the pressure, manages to reach the entrance of the station, where he is suddenly attacked by a creature, and uses a shotgun to kill it, then quickly gets inside the airlock. He quickly depressurizes the room and lies unconscious. Later, he is awakened by the voice of Montes, the man who has a score to settle with Jonas since because of him, he had spent 2 years in prison after his ship was seized by the authorities. Jonas says that he doesn't even remember him, adding that there are a lot of scumbags around the world. Montes gets mad and attacks him with a knife. Jonas disarms the man using a chain, and strangles him. Their fight activates a machine that grinds the rocks, and Montes pushes Jonas on the conveyor belt, then jumps up on him. The two keep fighting as they go up toward the grinder. Jonas knocks the man with a rock and frees himself at the last moment. He kicks Montes down, then runs toward the pod's room where he tries to use the console to save the others. But he is again attacked by Montes. Jonas finally manages to win and rushes and opens the pod room, letting the water out of it, and saving everyone. During that time, 3 helicopters arrive at Mana 1, carrying a group of mercenaries. Meanwhile, after reviewing the backup security footage, Mark finds out that Jess was the mole. Jonas and the others get inside one of the submarines. Rigas says that they can't go past the Megs even with the submarine, and that they needed a distraction. So they decide to light up the station. Juming jumps out of the submarine and he activates all the lights around the station, pushing the Megs to attack the structure. The station slowly gets destroyed and Juming runs to get back to the submarine. An explosion sends him flying and falling into the water while Rigas screams at Jonas to close the hatch. The man refuses and waits for his friend to go back and finally closes the hatch. While the Megs attack the station, the group manages to get away and they cross the thermocline where they see the big hole that had formed in it. After they left, we see the gigantic octopus coming out of the hole. Montes, who has survived, uses one of the pods to float up. Jess, who's accompanied by some mercenaries, tells Mac and DJ to come out. Mac opens the door and uses pepper spray to blind the two mercenaries and gets blinded in the process. DJ shocks Jesse with a taser. During that time, Jonas and the others reach the surface and see what's happening on the platform. They all go back on Mana 1 and sneak around. Juming, who had grabbed some explosive from the station, is asked by Jonas to come with him, while Rigas is told to prepare a Zodiac and take Maying with her. During that time we see that Montes successfully reached the surface. Mark and DJ, who manages to escape, want to go and call for help, but they are surrounded by the mercenaries. DJ then shows off his fighting skills and kicks their butts, but they are soon under fire and have to escape by jumping into the water. The two are later caught by the mercenaries, and while traversing a corridor, Juming appears in front of them. He starts speaking in Chinese to make a distraction while Jonas comes from behind them and attacks them. Montes joins Jess and the others, and we learn how the two were lovers. He then tells her that Jonas was on the station. The woman then orders the mercenaries to search for them and kill them. While they prepare the Zodiac, Maying and Rigas see three Megs swimming toward them. Jess sees the Megs too and contacts Driscoll. The woman tells her that they could use this situation in their favor and put the blame on Jonas while making her a hero, and she promises her a leadership position within the institute. A Meg appears behind Jess and Driscoll freaks out, but Jess tells her that the glass was Meg-proof, saying that it was all under control. But then suddenly the Meg breaks through the glass and eats the woman. The whole platform starts shaking as the water rushes in. Montes escapes and gets out in time as he screams in anger. Jonas and his team get on the Zodiac and use paddles to not attract the Megs. A Meg starts swimming around them in circles. The mercenaries at that time get on the other Zodiac to go after them using the engine to go full speed. Montes tells them to stop the engine, and so they did. One of the mercenaries aims at Jonas and was about to shoot, when suddenly the Meg comes out of the water and eats them all in one chomp. Jonas immediately puts the engine into work and escapes as far as they could. Driscoll is told by Montes that Jess was dead and that Jonas and the others escaped. She asks Montes to take control and kills them, promising him a great amount of money that will last his whole life. On the way, Jonas prepares some explosive spears. The group decide to head to a close-by island called Fun Island. As the name suggests, the island was a big resort. The tourists notice the dolphins behaving strangely and a yacht gets attacked by the giant octopus. Jonas sees the mercenaries heading to the island too. He screams at the people to get out of the water as the three Megs approach fast. At that time, the mercenaries who were looking for Jonas hear some strange growling noises and are attacked by the small dinosaurs. The mercenaries open fire, scaring the tourist, and chaos breaks out. Jonas tells Maying to hide inside the lifeguard tower. At that moment, the Megs reached the shore and began attacking and eating people. Driscoll, who is waiting on the helicopter, is attacked and dragged by a dinosaur. Jonas grabs some exploding spears and gets on a jet ski, and he is spotted by Montes. He rides around and the Megs come after him. Mac and Juming get inside a warehouse to get some material to make a bomb to kill the octopus. Some mercenaries who were escaping the dinosaurs get in there too and find them. Jonas continues running from the Megs and is almost eaten by one. He avoids it and crashes into the water. He then swims back quickly to the jet ski while a Meg heads toward him. The jet ski refuses to start till the last second and Jonas avoids a certain death. DJ and Rigas are too attacked by the dinosaurs and escape to the warehouse and are too captured by the mercenaries. Juming makes a distraction, and DJ uses his butt to push a button that opens the garage door, letting in the creatures that attacked the mercenaries, giving him the opportunity to escape before the warehouse explodes. Jonas faces one of the Megs and throws one of the spears at it, but the explosion misses it. Another Meg attacks him from underneath. Jonas avoids it and the Meg jumps and falls, causing a huge wave that Jonas rides and uses an explosive spear to blow up the head of one of the Megs. Juming and Mac try to get a helicopter and find the dinosaurs on their way. Juming makes a distraction while Mac starts the vehicle. More dinosaurs come charging at Juming, who has to fuel the helicopter. The two float above the ground. Juming falls down and starts spraying the creature with fuel to push them back, Mac then uses a flare gun to explode the creatures and then they fly away. During that time the gigantic octopus attacks the shore while Jonas fights the Megs while having to deal with Montes. Mei-Ying, who was helping people, tries to get on the helicopter, but the vehicle is grabbed by the octopus. Ju-Ming jumps out but Mac crashes with the vehicle. Jonas, who wants to help Mei-Ying, is attacked by a Meg and lands on the pier where he fights the creature that almost swallows him if not for the chains that were holding it back. The chains break but Jonas escapes into the water. Montes arrives and tries to kill him. Jonas stabs his leg with a broken piece of wood then quickly disarms him. Montes asks for a fair fight and Jonas throws the gun and sees the Meg approaching. Montes has an evil smirk as he tries to pull out a gun. But before he could, Jonas kicks him back right into the Meg's jaws. At that time Mei-Ying gets caught by the octopus and is saved by Ju-Ming, who gets caught instead. The girl throws the bomb at him and he grabs it before getting pulled to the depths where he meets with the creature. Using a machete he plants the bomb on it and swims away. The bomb explodes as he reaches the surface but he is again caught by a tentacle and is about to be food for the octopus. Luckily Haichi the Meg attacks the octopus and Ju-Ming escapes while the two titans fight each other. The octopus squeezes the Meg with its tentacles, almost killing her, but she fights back and bites it, then drags it to the depths. After checking on Mei-Ying, Jonas and Ju-Ming head to save Mac, who is stuck inside the helicopter. The Alpha Meg approaches them fast. Ju-Ming helps Mac while Jonas grabs one of the helicopter's rotors and holds it up. The Meg jumps on him, jaws wide open, and Jonas sticks the sharp piece of metal right through its brain, killing it immediately. The giant creature slowly sinks lifeless to the depths. At the shore, the fight against the dinosaurs continues and DJ manages to kill the last one of them. As they swim back to the shore, the three men are approached by the Meg Haichi. Ju-Ming says that she will listen to him. He uses the clicker and holds his ground as she approaches him fast. It then suddenly changes direction and the man is glad that she listens to him, but is told by Jonas that she just wanted to go hunt the dolphins. They all then gather on the beach enjoying the view, while rescue is on its way to the island. And that was the end of the movie. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more and see you next time, bye bye.